Ah, there's one. I do get excited when these southerly winds push up right up against the beach. It really is a grey old day, but the wind's gusting 55 miles an hour onto the beach today. Southerly wind that's pushing right up against the beach. You can see the gulls. I don't know if you can see the gulls. Usually means we can get a few bits of bait for free. It's like razor clams, gaper clams as well. Those are the big ones. You can almost guarantee there'll be some of those there. And hopefully some cockles as well. We're going to see. We've got to fight against these birds though.
Well, I'm not sure how much help Nelly's going to be here.
Neap tides, so they're smaller tides, but this sort of thing can be very dangerous even with the neap tides here. I've got full sort of neoprene and waterproof trousers on, but it is best to come well prepared.
I've got one battered gaper clam. There's plenty of shells. I think that's why you've got to get there before the birds.
So these are cockle shells, no cockles in them, mussel shells. Doesn't look like there's any mussels in them. I would imagine these are the seagulls have got to these. They like the mussels the best, I think.
There are some razors here. These are razor clams, or razor fish, they're sometimes known as, and that would be a good choice for a bait if we can get some more of those. And it is a case of grabbing them before these gulls get to them. They're so quick, the gulls. They actually sit above the water and pluck them out, and we're sort of letting them come up the beach here, some of these.
Well, good God, I think that is a lobster, isn't it? It is, it's a lobster. Well, it's obviously been washed up. It's been pushed out of the rocks by that last bit of storm, and of course you can't take them off the beach as well. There's too many regulations on lobsters. Well, the gaper here is probably better as a cod bait. It's quite bulky. Of course, you wouldn't want to eat the mussels here. These bivalves filter the water, and there's been so much sewage discharge on the south coast as well. I've actually seen it. So yeah, I wouldn't eat anything from this neck of the woods. Don't often use mussel in bait for sea fishing, particularly not on the south coast here, but it's quite good. As cocktail baits, beefing out the baits, or even using it for whiting where you don't want to use your proper bait. That one's already been smashed up, but the gulls haven't had it. Gaper clams. We'll be using that for bait. It's obviously got very sharp, razor-like shell, and it's like an old-fashioned razor, not like your big ones. But that's a really good little hook bait. That sits under the sand. It's in the intertidal zone, and it filters all the detritus that comes past, and that's how it actually feeds. Interestingly, I think the male ones have got sperm, so that's obviously how they feed, fertilise the female ones. But there you go, it's a thing. We're going to use that as bait. Don't eat it, don't eat it. So the gaper clam, some of these could be 25 years old. These are actually from cuttlefish. It's like the cartilage in them. No good for what we want today. You see these on the beach, you're not familiar with them. These are from spider crabs. So we've got a little bit of bait there. So what we're going to do is prepare that bait and go fishing with it, just to prove that we can use stuff that we found off the beach. So we come back the next day. We've left the lobster to it and most of those gaper clams. Still not had a definitive answer about whether you can take any of this off the beach. Now we've had a storm, so there's still a lot of swell in the water, and it can be a really good time to fish. The only issue we might have is that there's too much bait in the water. So although that brings a fish in, of course, there's so much other bait for them to choose from. These rods, we've got the 150 gram 3-hook flapper here. We're going to tie on this, what's now frozen razor. Point of the hook over it and run it down the hook. And then use loads of this bait elastic, and that's bait elastic, not shearing elastic. I've seen people use shearing elastic. This bait elastic's great, it's really thin. It just snaps off as well. Just wrap that round. You don't want to be masking the hook point. And we'll give these a cast out and see. I mean, we're more likely to get whiting than anything else this time of year. Still a bit early for the dabs. I'm not seeing any dabs yet. So you just maybe trim that a little bit. Whiting and a tangle. Do let us know if you've been out and about. It's been a bit tricky. We had a lot of rough weather recently, so hats off to you if you have been out. And yeah, do let us know in the comments how you're getting on.